Hi beautifuls, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be about the fact that my doctor screwed up on my blockers. I went to my appointment, nothing was explained to me about what I needed to do. I didn't know I had to go to Boots to pick up my prescription, but luckily enough I already went there to check if there was any prescriptions, and there was not, because I had a feeling roughly that I'd have to do that. And when I went to my appointment, the woman who was seeing me, she was like, oh, where's the blocker that you collected? And I says to her, I says, what blocker? I says, nothing's available at Boots and that lot. And she was like, oh, I can't basically do anything without the blocker and that lot. And she says, you should have collected it basically. And she was trying to put the blame on me. And what had happened is I told her, I says, I've just been to Boots and they don't have any prescriptions for me. And one second. Yeah, roughly she was trying to put the blame on me. And I told her, I said, okay, I told her, I says, I'm transitioning. I says, I do not know how it all goes. And I says, this is not my fault. I haven't, basically it should have been ordered when I went in. This is delicious. 79p an ounce. But don't take it too much of a sip because it's a ginger. But when she was like, oh, she was like, we need to chase this up and that. And then when she went on a computer system, straight away all she said was, uh-oh. And I says to her, I said, what's wrong? She says, the doctor's prescribed it, but he hasn't ticked the box for it to go to your pharmacy. And I says, well, what does that mean? I says, I need the blocker. And she says to me, she says, we'll have to rebook you and get it ordered. She said, and that, she was trying to put the blame mostly on me and some girl on the reception who originally made the appointment. And like I told her, I says, no one's told me what I need to do. I says, no one's told me anything. No one's phoned me to say, oh, we need to order this in. And roughly that it's not been ordered in. I says, I've been kept left in the lurch. I says, and now I've come up here to find out roughly that it's not available. Roughly you haven't done it. It was just a pain in the arse and kind of like a kick in the teeth as well. But my appointment now is on Friday, so you have to wait till Friday for my appointment to have my blocker done. For anyone that was curious, it's a testosterone blocker. I'm transgender, I'm a transgender female, and yeah, now I have some really bad acne at the moment, just in a few areas, just there and there, and then I think my bangs hiding one ear. But it's a blocker for testosterone, to block my testosterone. Now, even though roughly that's going to be, my body's going to be changing even more, and I've already noticed how much softer and more feminine my face has become, as you guys can tell. I'm more softer in the face, apart from like these acne, but roughly they'll go away. But it does not change bone structure. Now, for me, I've naturally always had a round face. I've had a bit of a hip and curve to me, and I've had a bit of boobs. I'm just being very careful because I accidentally knocked a little bit earlier on, and they hurt, and one of them was actually slightly leaking. But I know that was just estrogen. But hormones does not change bone structure, and I can tell you now, most people, trans women that are born men, tend to have hopefully a strong jawline. I am very lucky that I actually don't have that, and I think the reason that is because of my genetics, because me and my sister used to look like twins, so I think hopefully we do have quite the same face. We kind of have the same hairline and stuff. It's very weird. Mine's receded back a little bit, but it's growing back. But we have the same face shape and similar features. We have our mother's button nose. I've lost a bit of weight in my nose, but I don't think much more is going to go down, because I think the rest of this is cartilage, but you never know. But one thing that's not going to change is my brow bone, because I technically don't really have one. And I know that's going to sound very weird, but most trans women that are born men, and yes, we are talking about that, technically have a brow bone, and it's usually quite a sharp, pointy brow bone. Now, I cannot physically see it, and by the way, my brows are not even, but usually right here you can feel kind of like a bump. I don't have that. I don't have a bump anywhere here. It's just flat. And for anyone that's going to say, oh, you've still got time roughly for that to happen, no, that would have happened in my 20s. I'm literally 30 in 2 months time, so what I already have basically is just going to stay there, because I'm basically going on 7 months on hormones. So I'm just going to show you from the side profile. I cannot physically see, but I don't have a very prominent brow bone. It doesn't really stick out, it doesn't really bother me, and usually, can you guys see? It's flat, but there's just a, maybe just a tad bit, but it's my bone structure roughly is very different than I used to think it used to be. I've always had this bit, it's always been flat. Even when I'm doing this and I'm pushing, there's no bone. It's just like completely flat. And then roughly my thingy goes down like this on my jawline. I technically am not worried, and there's a misconception that all trans women have prominent Adam's apples. And let me add this. There we go. Let's see if I can show you in this lighting. Can you see what I mean? It's probably there, but it's very small. So I technically don't have a problem with my brow bone, which I'm very fortunate for. And my features are softening up even more. Now, most trans women have a prominent Adam's apple, but some don't. And it's been proven that most women that were born women have a prominent Adam's apple too. And some people say they can identify a transgender woman by the fact that they have an Adam's apple. And my brother tried clocking me out for this one as well. He was like, oh, people will be able to tell you trans because of your Adam's apple. I've never had a strong prominent Adam's apple either, and I think it's due to my genetics. Not, I can tell it's right here, but the thing is, when my testosterone is blocked, this is going to go down even more. So, because I think testosterone blockers does shrink the Adam's apple just a tad. So if it shrinks it down even more, I am not going to be angry, because like I said, I'm very fortunate to have what I have. I don't have a strong brow bone. In fact, it's mostly flat. I do have quite feminine features. I always have, and it's just the way it's been for me. I do have, unfortunately, very broad shoulders, so not much is going to change here. I felt my shoulders, and what's left now is just mainly bone and maybe a little bit of muscle, but my shoulders have curved down just a tad to give me a more feminine appearance and that lot, but there's not much that I know would change. Now, I do know roughly your face can change on hormones depending on your genetics, and I'm here to tell you roughly, I don't know if my face is going to change. I don't know what I'm going to look like in a couple of years and that lot, but I can tell you roughly that my face has softened up a lot more. Roughly, it's more feminine. My jaw is the most that has changed. It's rounded out, and it's basically it's become more feminine. I do have this little bit right here that sticks out a little bit more, can you see? So I don't know if this bit's going to slim down a bit more, because I can feel my bone right there. So I don't know if my face is going to go in a bit more. It might do when I have my blockers, but that's mainly it. I know my hairline is changing every day. I know it doesn't look like it, but I have all these little baby hairs that are pumping out. So that's it. My doctor screwed up roughly, and hormones are not going to change my bone structure. And like I said, I'm very fortunate to have the things that I have, and I don't have a prominent brow bone. There's probably a little bit of kind of like a little dip out, but it's very little. I can't actually feel it. To me, it feels completely flat. I touch this every day. It's completely flat. There's no slight bit of a bone there. So, because most trans women, when they have surgery, they have that shaved, the brow bone shaved down to have a more flatter appearance. I don't think I'm going to need that. Roughly, and my genetics, I know, are technically good in helping me pass in that lot. Roughly, I've always looked very feminine. Like I said, me and my sister do look semi-alike, but some people have it harder in that lot, which is horrible. People think transitioning is going to be this smooth, easy ride. It's not. It's quite bumpy along the way. You have to go through many struggles and stuff. I mean, I'm going through a struggle just to get a freaking blocker. and that lot, but nothing more masculine is going to happen to my body. It's just not anymore. I've never had super masculine features. Like I said, I don't have a prominent brow bone, I don't have a strong jawline. I have quite a feminine jawline actually. My features are quite feminine. I've always had hips, butt and a little bit of breast. Probably shouldn't have done that, but each person's transition is completely different, and no two is ever the same. So what I'm experiencing and what is going on with me in my transition, and that lot, is completely different for me. My concern is basically, am I going to get curvy in that lot, which I do think I am. But the one thing I'm worried about is if my breasts stay in A cup, then I'm going to struggle. But the thing is, I have very good family genetics when it comes to big breasts, so I do think I'm going to get maybe like a B cup or a large B cup at the latest. I'll be very lucky to get a C cup, but that's me. My voice is quite feminine too. I don't think I'm going to struggle like most people will do, which I'm grateful for, but I do feel sorry for the people that do not pass. I always do, because sometimes the world can be a cruel place, especially when someone looks different. I mean, like I said, all the changes that were going to happen, roughly, they would have happened when I was basically going through puberty and basically when I was in my 20s. Now I'm approaching my 30s. Nothing more is going to happen, because roughly now everything's going to be blocked. The bone structure as it is, roughly it was set in place from basically puberty. So what I have now, like this non-prominent brow bone and stuff, like my face being quite feminine in shape and stuff, this is what's staying. My broad shoulders unfortunately runs in my family, even on the women's side, and that lot. Big breasts run in my family, and quite curvy people as well. But that's what's happening. For me, gender reassignment surgery is just the main surgery I want. I do not need facial feminization surgery, because my features, like my brow bone, my jawline, and doesn't make me dysphoric. I most probably could do with this being, my lip being lifted just a tad bit, because unfortunately this is way too low, but that would be it. But maybe that will come later on in life, and then maybe like a breast augmentation or something. I don't know what will happen later on, because with it I don't know what I'm gonna look like. Anyway guys, I'm gonna get going and I'll see you guys in the next video.